Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into an incredibly comforting and honestly super relevant passage from the Bible today. The title of our study is Psalm 37, The Lord Our Stronghold and Security, and the subtitle really says it all: Salvation belongs to the Lord. We're pulling our core insights today from a Daily Bread devotional. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty specifics, let's set the stage with a little historical context. This psalm was actually written by King David, and likely in his old age. I mean, think about it. This is a guy who faced literal armies, heartbreaking betrayals, and just massive crushing stress his entire life. Yet when he looks back, his takeaway is entirely focused on God's absolute sovereignty. So what we're going to unpack today is what it actually means when the Bible declares that salvation belongs to the Lord, and how this reformed theological framework gives us a real, unshakable security right now. Let's look right at the foundational text. Psalm 37, verse 39 says, "The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in time of trouble." This one verse really just sets our focus for the whole explainer. It highlights the main argument of our research. When life's inevitable troubles hit, our deliverance doesn't come from digging deep into our own willpower or racking up a bunch of good deeds. No way. It comes directly from the Lord. It is 100% His sovereign work, and He is our ultimate protector. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. We're going to outline the big picture first, then we'll dive into Lesson 1, God holds your steps, and Lesson 2, God is your deliverer. After that, we'll walk through a highly practical step-by-step application and wrap it all up with a final reflection. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, the big picture. And the subtitle is the key here. Who you rely on matters. Summarizing the key findings right out of the gate gives us a pretty blunt reality. Life is absolutely going to bring trouble. There's just no dodging it. But, and this is a crucial pivot in the source material, what matters most isn't the trouble itself, but who we turn to when we're smack in the middle of it. David is showing us the evidence that God isn't just some distant observer. He's actively saving, strengthening, and sustaining us. So your security? It's fundamentally rooted in God's sovereign, unchanging character, not in the totally unpredictable circumstances swirling around you. Moving right along to Lesson 1, God is holding your steps. David points out that the Lord makes the steps of the righteous firm. But let's be real, what does that actually look like for us? It means God is actively, sovereignly guiding your path. Now, the text makes a really vital distinction here. You are going to stumble. You won't walk perfectly. There will be mistakes, setbacks, and just genuinely hard days. But stumbling doesn't mean you're completely knocked down for the count. Why? Because God is holding you up. This ties directly into that beautiful Reformed truth. Because God is sovereignly holding your steps, even when you stumble, you cannot fully fall away. His grace sustains you. Your security absolutely isn't found in living this flawless, perfect life. It's found in the fact that God's care is steady, and He remains faithful through every single season. Honestly, that truth alone just totally removes the fear of failure. Which brings us to Lesson 2. God is your deliverer in trouble. To really get this, we need to look at the specific words used in the Bible. The psalm emphasizes that salvation comes from the Lord, and it calls Him a stronghold. Think of a stronghold as a fortress, a place of absolute, impenetrable safety and protection when trouble hits. The text draws a really sharp contrast here. While wicked forces might seem incredibly strong for a fleeting moment, their end is never secure. But for those who trust in God, they will be rescued. Deliverance isn't some achievement you unlock with your own sheer willpower or moral perfection. It's a profound provision of God's sovereign grace. So we're basically comparing and contrasting two fundamentally different approaches to life's challenges here. On the left side, you've got the theory of relying on your own strength. Think about the implications of this for a college student, right? When the stress hits, we're talking brutal midterms, endless term papers, or that crushing anxiety about graduation and what on earth you're going to do with your life. Our human nature is to rely entirely on ourselves. We try to just muscle through it with sheer willpower, all-nighters, and, let's be honest, way too much caffeine. But eventually, you hit a wall. It only goes so far. Now, contrast that with the alternative theory on the right, relying on God. This is where true security actually comes from. It's the absolute game changer of realizing that God steps in as your help in every single situation. He is your protector and your rescuer. You are literally never left to navigate the chaos of your classes or your life all on your own. Okay, so how do we actually live this out? Let's transition to our step-by-step application. The devotional gives us a super clear step-by-step process for daily life. Step 1, Turn to God first when you feel overwhelmed. Before you spiral into a panic about that impossible exam or that upcoming job interview, make him your very first point of contact. Just remind yourself that he's your actual source of strength. Step 2, trust him with both your successes and your failures. Remember what we just talked about with stumbling? Keep following him even when you feel like you've completely tanked a semester or messed up a relationship. And finally, step 3, place your confidence in God, not your circumstances. You've got to remind yourself daily that God is steady, even when your grades, your living situation, and your future plans seem totally up in the air. And that brings us to section 5, the conclusion, and our final takeaway. Listen, if you remember absolutely nothing else from this explainer, I want you to remember this clear, ultimate conclusion we've drawn from the research on Psalm 37. Security is found in God alone. It's not in your bank account, it's definitely not in your GPA, it's not in perfectly managing your behavior, and it is for sure not in an absence of trouble. All the glory goes to him, because true security is found in a God who sovereignly holds your steps, acts as your unshakable stronghold, and delivers you when you literally cannot deliver yourself. I'm going to leave you with these 2 reflection questions directly from our source material. First, be totally honest with yourself right now. Where do you instinctively turn first when trouble hits? Is it straight to your own strength, or is it to God? And second, how can you actively grow in trusting God as your stronghold this very week? The wisdom of the Bible isn't just meant to be read like a textbook, it's meant to be lived out. So take a moment to really think about how you'll apply these truths to whatever mountain you might be facing today. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and keep digging into the truth.